How you doing? Welcome to American Defender. Today we're going to talk about the pitchin stick. This is the competition for the Dock Demon. These are sold at a lot of different retailers out there. I got this one over there at Commune World. Wally World. We're at the Mart of Walls for about $9. They are a one-piece. It looks like fiberglass or carbon fiber or fiber optic rod, kind of like the Dock Demon. It's the same rod. It's the same rod. They are a direct competition for the Dock Demon. If you look at them, they look just like a Dock Demon. Just they're green or pink. And your Dock Demons are red. Got some Kodiak I'm chewing on here. For those of you that like to know. I love these rods. They're very, you can see there, very, very tough little rod. They can bend and all sorts of stuff, just like the Dock Demon, come all the way down. I don't want to do it on this one because there's no point in that. But they're a very strong rod. They're virtually indestructible. Though this is my second one, I have destroyed one already. I will tell you that. No, it wasn't because I caught a fish or nothing. I was pulling the line off of this reel and one of these reels, and the line stopped, and I was using a drill, and the tip went, and it wrapped around. See if I got it down here. You can see it right here. Here's my line. What is it, buddy? My dog just flipped out. What? What, Mama? Bad dream? Okay. Anyway, here's my drill setup. It wrapped around that. And it wasn't until I relieved the tension that it cracked. So, yeah. Kind of crazy. But that rod, I super glued it back together. And it worked great. And I fished with that rod for about a month. And I had a lot of fun with it. But eventually it did break down here because I had caught a huge old red ear slider. Because people are dumb and keep dumping their pets into the canal systems and parks. If you're going to get a red ear slider, folks, understand they get big. They're really dirty. They're a lot of work. They're expensive. The turtle's cheap. The tank's kind of expensive. But the filtration system on those things can run you $100, $200 like that. So, and they get big. They need a lot of room. 55-gallon tank's good for about one turtle. One, maybe two, but most likely one big female. So a big old turtle. We're talking a shell like that for a red ear slider. That's a big mamma jamma around here in Arizona. Hit this thing really violently in really rough water in the canal and went sideways with it, and it split the rod. The rod stayed together, but it split the other rod right there, going sideways like that. I mean, it hit boom hard, and I had a 2-ounce weight on it too, so it just had a lot of weight sitting on it, and I'd already had a crack up here, so it just kind of continued it on down. So I went and got another one though. And I love these rods. I love the rods. The rods are a good quality rod. Again, look at that. Look at that. Look at that shit. You know, I tested one of the ugly sticks. What are they called? The dock runners. I tested one of those in the Walmart. Did this test with it. You know, you grab the string and you do that with it. And I ended up having to buy it anyway because I snapped that son of a bitch right there in the store. I just grabbed it and whomp, and it just snapped right on the bottom. It was an ugly stick too. Ugly stick dock runner. Good looking rod, real stiff rod, but not as strong as these. Not as strong as the Dock Demons. I prefer these. If you look at them, they look very similar to a Dock Demon. And if you remember in my update extravaganza video, I said that they are the same thing, but there's some differences in the reel. And I want to talk about this reel because I've got some problems with this reel. The Dock Demon, the handle here is covered in plastic. so it's not exposed in chrome, and it's got the little skeletonized handle there. It's got some minor differences, but it's basically the same reel. I have in a Walmart taken the cap off of both of them, put the guts from one and the other, and put it all back together, and it works. So they're the same reel. They just make them just a little bit different, but they're in essence the same reel. With these reels, if you're going to keep the 6-pound test, in here, it says pitchin stick right there. These work fine, and I'm sure if you put 8-pound test, they'd work okay too. They hold. Line capacity is 40 yards. A 6-pound test. Gear ratio is 3.3 to 1. They work great for that. I have 12-pound Berkeley solutions on this one, and this wouldn't cast to save your life with this 12-pound test on here. So that's why I don't run it on here. I don't run this reel. The way I like to run this, as you've seen in the past, is if you're going to get one of these, I would get something like a 202, or I chose reel I had laying around, my ugly cast. This one has 12-pound test on it. It makes it feel ass heavy in your hand. It's better balanced, of course, with the little reel, but I'm actually hunting big fish with a little pole, so that's what I do. So I've got to have a reel that's going to handle a higher pound test. It's got to handle 10, 12, 15-pound test. And the ugly cast will do that all day long. I've had braid on this too, and it does it. And you can even swap handle sides on it. It's a lot better reel. It's all aluminum construction. Of course, this reel's really old. Really, really old, and I've abused the crap out of it, and it just keeps going. You can see there. Kind of got that Daiwa look to it, which are also good reels. I'll be doing a review on an old Daiwa here soon. That's actually right there behind me. This is my old Rodak. Right here I do vintage stuff too. I like the old stuff. But we'll talk about those later. But, when you get a reel like this on here, it makes the reel kind of, or the rod kind of want to, fall over in your hand. But it feels funny. But if anything, once you get the grip on there, it ain't too bad. It can balance once you get the thumb in there. But at least it's going to cast, because it casts phenomenally. And it's going to reel everything in. This one's got 2 ball bearings in it. A 202 would work great on this. A 404, 808 would probably be way big. I haven't tried the 404. My wife has a 404. I might have to snag that from her and try it out. But I mean, it's this setup like this, a larger reel with this rod, guys. This is some good stuff right here. You can get into tight little spaces with it. You ain't got to worry about trees and overhang, like the place we were fishing in the video at the park. Again, sorry about the camera work on that one, but something like a full-size rod. I don't know if you guys saw it on there, but there's a bunch of spinners and lures and floats and hooks and weights and stuff just littered all over the branches of that tree from people casting overhead with full-size rods, and your rods and your rod tip smacks the tree and everything. And with something like this, you get in a nice little tight space like that, you can whip it out there, and you ain't got to worry about any of that. And if you do snag on something, these rods are they're pretty stout. Let me show you inside here. Got your standard reel seat on there and fastening. If you look down in here, you can kind of see the blank. It goes all the way down. It goes all the way down through to the handle, and you can see it's glued in right there, just like a pitchin or dock demon, just like that. Reel changing on these things is super simple and easy. You can carry this reel and the original reel depending on what you want to do, and go back and forth. Very, very versatile. Very strong, very light. It's affordable. And like I said, I've casted a 2-ounce weight, big old triangle weights. I cast those with this all the time, and it handles it. This one you can actually feel it's sensitive enough that you can feel the bite as it happens. I've lure fished with this. I've run what are those? The flukes from, I think, Strike King on here. And I've ran Senkos on it, and I've run Rapalas on it, and it does great. You've got to speed up your reel a little bit. Again, this reel here on here doesn't tell me what the gear drive. Oh yeah, it does right here. 75 yards. Let's see here, gear ratio. It's all rubbed off, guys. If you can't see it there, it's right there. It's all rubbed off, but it holds 75 yards of 10 pound. I know that. This is the Ugly Cast SC. It's a good reel. This combo right here, guys, is probably one of my favorite mini combos, ultralight combos, if you want to, or micro light, or whatever you want to call it. I do have a Zebco microcast up there, and I thought about maybe putting it on here, even though this is for a close-face bait caster, not a spin caster. Spin caster, not bait caster. It does have the hook on there. That don't mean nothing. Rod don't know no different. Unfortunately, this is the only kind of reel you can get on these with a Dock Demon. You can get the other open face style reel that a lot of us like. For some reason, though, that setup is usually $4 more. You can get the Dock Demon for $10 with the standard reel. You know, this push button closed face reel, and then the open face reel is $14. Whereas you can get the pitchin stick for $8.94. And then if you want to upgrade your reel for another $4 or $5, get a 202 and slap it on there, and you actually end up with a stronger rig than you would buying the open face. So you're better off doing this, in my opinion. Great rod, great setup. I have nothing but good things to say about these things. They're comfortable. They got those foam handles. They do float. And even with this big reel on there, it does float up like this. So if you drop it, most likely you'll get it back. They fit in rod holders, your standard rod holders. They fit in them, and guys, they're a great setup. This is my lucky setup right now. This is what I call the pickle. That's what I named it. Was the pickle. This is actually pickle number 2. But there you go, guys. There's my setup on the pitchin stick. My review of the pitchin stick. What I think of the pitchin stick. I think it's a better value than the Dock Demon. It does say, I just noticed on here, it says it's a medium action, 4 to 10 pound line, 30-inch rod. I don't know how well you guys can see that on there. It does say that on there. So I guess you could run 10-pound line on it, no problem. I might have to take some of my 10-pound line, throw it on the other little reel and see how it does. But it's got 10-pound line in this right now. So there you go, guys. The pitchin stick from Shakespeare. Mated with the Ugly Cast, again, from Shakespeare. And it's the pickle. Or the pitchin stick is the real name, but I call it the pickle. Anyway, yeah, you guys get it. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, rate, subscribe. A lot more gear, a lot more fishing videos coming your way. I'm enjoying this. I'm having fun with it. I hope you like the new lighting. I know I do with this phone. It seems to make the picture a lot better. So with that, I'm out of here. God bless you. Like, rate, subscribe, and we will see you on the flip. Bye now.